Alright, this new system's a bit wonky, but this is going to be the kit reveal portion, even though we get basically the dev insight right there. So anyhow, let's get it. Profundity's basic is called No Turning Back Now. Take a look at what this looks like. Okay, ooh, just shooting him a little bit. And then you can see that portal thing that they had above that planet. Final text. If this ability is used during Profundity's turn, I hope so, it's a basic ability. Deal physical damage to target enemy and grant target ally a bonus turn. If the target ally is a rebel, they gain 50% offense, they increase their download by 10%, and they can ignore taunt and inflict buff immunity on their target for 1 turn on their next turn. If the enemy already had buff immunity, then you stun them for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. If Profundity was called to assist out of its turn, deal physical damage and instead inflict daze for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Okay, I mean, obviously if it's on its turn, it's doing a lot more. But that's still cool that if it's called on an assist out of its turn, it still can inflict a daze. So that's okay. Special 1, Unconventional Maneuver. Cooldown 4. Okay, so what is this doing? Oh, it's just like a dumb buff. Oh, and then that one, that's the Outrider though. That has download. So does this have some kind of synergy with download? Let's find out. Final text. Increase download by 10%. Okay, maybe. Dispel all debuffs from target ally and they assist twice. Oh. At the end of the turn, target enemy is inflicted with debuffs for each instance of physical or special damage they receive during this turn for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. 1+ instance of damage, critical chance down. 3+ instances of damage, breach. 5+ burning, 7+ ability block, and 9+ shield disruption. So, I would assume that means once you get to 9+, you get all this other stuff on them too, right? So they would have shield disruption, ability block, burning, breach, and critical chance down, right? Or does it just mean like at each level, that's what the opponent has? I would assume it means all, otherwise that's kind of goofy. Here's the one that in the developers' insights they said they want it to be your friend and stuff. So special 2, the rebel fleet has arrived. Cooldown 4. What the heck even happens there? It gives off some kind of green burst, something happens, and okay. Let's see what this is saying. Dispel advantage, stealth, and tenacity up from all non-rebel enemies. Wow! Each enemy that lost advantage this way is inflicted with vulnerable for 2 turns. Okay, so basically the exact opposite. You go from being able to better chance to land a critical, and then you go from that to being able to take criticals. Each enemy that lost stealth this way is inflicted with marked for 2 turns. Okay, again, exact opposite. You go from hiding from the attacks to being forced to take all the attacks. Basically a forced taunt. Each enemy that lost tenacity up this way is inflicted with tenacity down for 2 turns. Yep, exact opposite. These debuffs can't be dispelled, they can't be evaded or resisted. Rebel allies with full health gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Rebel allies recover 25% health and gain bonuses based on their roll. So, really quick, what if you were at 75% health and then you gain that 25%, so now you're basically full? Would that also trigger the critical damage up? Or is it you have to already have full health to get the critical damage up? Because otherwise that'd be kind of cool. 2 bonuses for you. Anyhow, the other bonus that you can get based on the roll is attackers, they gain offense up for 2 turns, healers and supports gain stealth for 2 turns, and crewless tanks, they gain taunt for 2 turns and 4 stacks of reinforced hull. Ooh. Unique, I say we fight. Final text, at the start of battle, Profundity gains 10 speed for each dark side enemy, including the capital ship. Oh, until the end of its first turn, and ally rebel cargo ships gain 4 stacks of reinforced hull. And ally crewless rebel tanks taunt for 1 turn. Ally rebel ships gain the following benefits based on their roll. So first off, 10 speed for each dark side enemy, including the capital ships. So that's like plus 80 speed that you can get. That's okay, especially for ships. That's not bad. Anyhow, crewless ships, they're immune to critical hits. Okay. Crewless tanks, they're immune to critical hits as well, but they also gain 35% defense and max health. They taunt for a turn whenever a rebel ally is inflicted with a debuff, and they're immune to buff immunity while taunting. Well then. Now, support cargo ships, they deal bonus true damage equal to 8% of their max health when they deal physical or special damage. You can't really control health. Well, you kind of can. It has to do with the relic level, but it's not as easy as mods on a character. But I was going to say, if you could really beef up the health on these ships, then you could beef up that bonus true damage that you're inflicting. And it's with physical or special damage. It doesn't even care. It's just damage in general. Rebel allies always score critical hits against enemies inflicted with shield disruption if possible. Okay. Whenever a rebel ally scores a critical hit, there is a 20% chance to call another random rebel ally to assist, including the capital ship. There you go. But it's only a 20%, so that's a pretty small chance. I mean, that's 1/5. So every 5 moves you might be able to get it. Whenever a rebel ally assists, download is increased by only 1%. Whenever a rebel ally evades an attack or resists a debuff, they recover 20% health and protection. Whenever an enemy unit is defeated, rebel allies recover 20% health and protection again. Whenever an enemy is summoned, all rebel allies gain protection up 100% for 2 turns. Whenever an enemy reinforces, rebel allies gain 150% defense for 1 turn. Wow, that's a lot of bonuses for rebels. Basically, whenever an enemy does anything. Did you defeat somebody? Recover 20% health and protection. Did they bring a reinforcement? All rebels are gonna get that protection up. Did one of the enemies reinforce? Gain 150% defense. If an enemy TIE advanced by 1, so Darth Vader ship, is deployed at the start of battle, which is very dumb if it is, because you want to have it come in as a reinforcement because it's got that ability where everybody gets damage over time. But sure. Increase the cooldown of call reinforcement for the enemy capital ship by 1. That's weird. If Profundity uses call reinforcement on consecutive turns, dispel all buffs on all enemies and dispel all debuffs on all allies. Can you call reinforcement on consecutive turns? I didn't think that was an option. But there you go, you might want to, because then you can dispel all the buffs on your enemies and dispel all debuffs on yourself. Allies and enemies are immune to turn meter manipulation. That's good. Reinforcement bonus. Critical chance up for 2 turns. Is this the leader ability? It's just a unique and you get all this? Jeez. Well, no, I say leader ability. Obviously, it's a leader. This is the ship. My bad. Ultimate Admiral. We have the plans. This requires 100% download progress. So this is, you know, kind of got a stipulation. Kind of like bounty hunters getting a payout, or the move by Starkiller. Yep, that one that comes down, and then that chases after it. Final text: limit 1 use per battle. Well, that's kind of your only option. Remove the enemy capital ship. Dispel all buffs on all enemies. All enemies are inflicted with speed down for 2 turns and stranded for the rest of the encounter. Makes sense because they don't have a leader anymore. Which can't be copied or dispelled. Well, you don't really need to copy it because everybody's got it. The Profundity gains the plan's acquired special ability. Rebel allies gain damage immunity for 1 turn and recover 100% health and protection. Jeez. This ability can't be evaded or resisted and requires 100% download progress to activate. Kind of makes sense as it's called We Have the Plans. You can't have the plans if you don't have them. Stranded. Take damage equal to 35% of its max health at the start of its turn. This damage can't defeat a ship. You can't recover health or protection or gain protection up. Wow. Take damage equal to 35% of your max health at the start of a turn? Jeez. And then you can't recover health or protection or gain protection up. That's, wow, that's pretty intensive. Plans acquired. All allies gain advantage. Okay. Critical damage up. Okay. Those 2 work hand in hand right there. Defense penetration, that's going to help you too. And offense, that's going to help you 3. Oh my word, for 2 turns. This ability starts on cooldown. Cooldown 4. That gives you so much. You're going to gain advantage, which means you have a high chance or a guaranteed chance of getting a critical hit. Now you have critical damage up, so when you get that critical hit, you're hitting harder because you have critical damage up. You have offense up, so now you're it's going to help your critical damage. And you have defense penetration, which means they are a little bit weaker, so when you hit, it's going to seem that much harder. Wow, that's a lot of boosts right there. And they all play on one another. Granted ability, plans required, cooldown 4. Plans acquired, I mean. Final text, all allies gain advantage, critical damage up, defense penetration, and offense up for 2 turns. This ability starts in cooldown. Yes, that's the very end phrase from the paragraph before it. Which is pretty intense, actually. Anyways, RTS first, cool. Hands over metal. Isn't this the thing that they got from at the end of New Hope? So the ultimate is an I win bind. Kind of works though. You guys get to find out, I guess. No hammerheads. Tempted to delete this post so that I can get that medal. Medals are for players only. What are you talking about? Because of the first thing? I mean, Ultra's always here, so screw you and what you're saying. Ultra's always here. Meathead, tempted to delete your account. Wait, was I supposed to say that out loud? What? Okay, why is he being a dickhead? What? What's up with these people being mean to Ultra? Ultra was just making a joke, tempted to delete his post so I can get that medal. And then this dickhead comes in. Tempted to delete your account. What? Was I supposed to say it out loud? Are you serious right now? Please rename the ultimate. Look, squirrel. I guess ships will end like characters. Wait, ships will ends like characters. Power creeps. I will haunt you on Discord, good sir. That looks so sick. I can't wait to unlock. Thank you for all you do, dickhead. Cool. Seems a bit more powerful than Executor, but it is still cool. Well, that's kind of the point. It seems a bit more powerful. Yeah, that's kind of the point. And it's really not. According to what they say, whoever's on offense, that's the one that's going to win. So if Profundity is going up against Executor, and Executor is basically AI controlled, it will lose. But if it's the opposite way, then Profundity will lose. So they're essentially the same power level. Yoink. Thanks much. Also, I like the new format of having both in one place. Hands over metal. What? What is going on here? Can't take that back anymore, sir. What? Profile notes ultra. Darn, I was really hoping the ultimate would involve calling in a Hammerhead Corvette to ram the enemy capital ship into oblivion. That would have been cool, too. I mean, I guess the one that they did choose makes sense, but that would have been cool, too, just like he did. I mean, that's what he did. Called in a Hammerhead, and they slammed it into the Empire ship. What note? Is this event intended to have the same once per month cadence as Executor? I would think so. Certainly wouldn't be the first time a comment was deleted around here. This looks cool, but what happened to August Burns Red from the August event calendar? Yeah, I know. Seriously, this was supposed to be all about red faction, right? Red leader, blah blah blah, and there was nothing from that. So cool, yeah. August really burned red. Didn't mean anything other than Meathead likes the band, or does it? Does it? I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you? Well, what happens if Executor crossed out? Remnant bounty hunters win the battle. Does capital ship return or not? What? How the heck the Profundity Synergy contradicts the major mechanic of the only 2 Rogue One shops? TM manipulation. 3 thoughts. 1, I like merging threads as it was confusing having to switch back and forth and trying to remember which one had comments and which didn't. The one that had comments was the kit reveal. Having the insight above the mechanics was confusing, though, as you start reading things like the basics and wondering if you're supposed to translate it to figure out what its basic ability does. I don't understand what you're saying there. 2. How does the Profundity reinforce twice in a row? Am I missing something, or should we expect another ship soon that reduces the CD of reinforcement when it's reinforced? Oh, cooldown. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I said twice in a row, and I was like, does that happen? I don't ever really do ships on manual. I always do it on auto. I never learned the ship mechanics. I don't know. When it came out back in 2016, I was like, it's too much work. I don't care. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe you can reinforce twice in a row, and auto just doesn't do it because it's stupid. But here's this good person saying, how does it do it twice in a row? So no, it is a weird thing. I was right in the first place. And then there's this very long statement. Wow, I'm a little unhappy with the requirement to the crossover. If you look at executive requirements, the only things that don't get used in fleet are Darth Vader, Dengar, TIE Pilot, TAX-1, and TIE Fighter. And then you would also want to gear up Bando, Cad, and Xandu Blood. Compared to Profundity, where it looks like you won't be using Biston, Cassian, Jin, Mothma, Biggs, X-Wing, the 2 U-Wings, or Wedge's X-Wing, and will additionally want to gear up Han, Chewie, Chopper, Ezra, Zeb, Kanan, Sabine, and Phantom 2. Based on there only being 5 Rebel cargo ships, obviously this is all pending playtesting. I think it would be nice if Phoenix could get a buff, Secrets and Shadows could get a nerf, so that you could get some extra utility out of them and stop of them on top of being Profundity reinforcements. Guessing Outrider, Falcon, and Y-Wing will be the standard star. That is very funny that they mentioned Secrets and Shadows, because that dang event, I can't get very far on at all. I can 3-star the first 3 stages, and then the Mythic tier I can 2-star, and then forget the Challenge tier. And so, as such, I've been thinking about beefing up my Phoenix squad to at least like Relic 5s, because yeah, just for that event, strictly for that event. So I can at least do Challenge Tier 1 and get some Zetas every time it comes around, you know. But yeah, I imagine, because the other team that you can use in that event is Night Sisters, and I imagine that they're obviously a much better option. They're just as synergetic as Phoenix, but they're way better than Phoenix. I mean, if you one-on-one, Phoenix would most likely always lose versus the Night Sisters, especially with Zombie constantly taunting. But anyhow, the only problem with that is I haven't worked on any of my Night Sisters, so I'm like, that's just starting over from scratch. Well, I have. I've worked on Talia, Initiate, I think, and Asajj. But like, 2 of those, you don't even, actually, all of them, right? Nobody uses any of those in the Night Sisters teams. It's Old Daka, not Mon Mothma, what the heck's her name? I don't know, the one with the red hood, Zombie, a lot of times Spirit, and then 1 random one. So it could be like Asajj there. But yeah, I'm just like, that's a lot of work. Where at least my Phoenix is already gear 12, and I have Ezra at relic status already, so I'm like, I kind of have a jump there, so I just need to make them beefier. But anyways, it's just funny to see somebody bring that up and say get a nerf. I'm like, yeah, that would help as well. I wouldn't have to beef them up as much if there was a nerf. Anyhow, no. This is seen with the other similar ultimates. What the heck? What the heck is all this? Ultra is answering this question, but like in a weird way. Okay. So, basically, it is the ship destroying ability, but without the action itself. Yes, it's the same as Raddus, it's the same as Executor, only there's no actual destruction. They both just disappear because they're chasing each other. Therefore, I have another question. What happens if the enemy enemy flagman ship is absent? Holdor or Executor destroyed it previously. Well, Executor wouldn't if Profundity is going first. And as far as Holdor, well, that means that your capital ship is dead too. So, like, you're just never going to be able to do that move. Duh. Anyhow, that's the kit reveal. And then the community comments. It does seem like a pretty decent ship. I mean, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be able to go up against Executor with ease. It does seem like it relies heavily on the Outrider. And like that one comment said, a lot of the ships that you think or you'd think would make sense with it, you don't need, which is kind of weird and disappointing and stupid and all that. But it does feel like this ship has some severe potential. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to be getting this anytime soon. I still need to start working on getting the Executor, never mind getting this, which has requirements that I haven't even worked on at all, like Admiral Raddus and stuff. But it still is kind of cool. The cooler part is it's not Resistance. I hate Resistance. This is Rebel, so that makes it a little bit better. Anyhow, instead of trailing on, I'm just going to say that's all I got for now. And until next time, I said see ya.